Hey friends, today we're going to be talking about steaming milk. We're going to be talking about what texture you're looking for, how you achieve that texture, and a few tips and tricks on creating delicious, creamy, frothy milk that adds to your espresso and does not take away from it. And also a few tips and tricks for ensuring that you do not burn yourself when steaming milk. So let's get started. Looking at the pitcher itself, so if I was to be making a 12-ounce latte, I would be using this pitcher here. It's 20 ounces. Where I would actually fill the milk up to in this pitcher is just about to where this starts to stick out in the pitcher. Now that's one of those things where when you're a new barista or new in the industry and you're steaming milk, you will end up with excess milk afterwards, and that's okay. So always start with like a little bit of extra milk in your pitcher that you'll then just discard, and then slowly work that down so you can end up having nothing left over and no waste. Couple quick things about the steam wand itself and ensuring that you do not burn yourself when you're working or practicing. This is extremely hot to the touch. So one of the things that we will do or encourage people to do is keep your rags folded like so it will cover the vast majority of your hand. It'll be very difficult to burn yourself if you do this. If you do one more fold and instead grab the steam wand like this, you will eventually burn your hand and it will hurt really bad. So please keep the rag open. Tuck this just like so in there so that when you purge, the steam itself is not in contact with your skin, your clothes, or anything. It's just getting caught up in the rag itself. Now when you are purging, the steam wand before and after, the reason we purge before and after is when you actually have your milk in here and you go to steam, you want to purge initially because over time the steam will turn back into liquid and there will be some water just kind of hanging out in the line, and you don't want to add more water to your milk. You also want to purge directly after steaming your milk to ensure that you get any milk residue off of the wand itself to keep it clean. You want to keep this as clean as possible, and you want to make sure that a purge at the very end will ensure that no milk stays up in your wand itself. If the milk stays up there and it stays up there for a long time, it will start to smell and get caked on there, and it's just not good. So, little purge before, little purge after. Another thing when you're purging, a lot of times you'll see people just purge right into the tray itself. In theory, that is totally fine, but over time, especially right after steaming milk, there is a little bit of milk that gets sucked up into the wand, and if you purge this directly into your drip tray, you will have milk go into your drip tray, and milk does not belong in your drip tray. Milk belongs in your beverages, in the pitchers, in your drinks, or on your towels themselves. Now we have, this towel is fairly saturated with sanitizer, and the reason that we use that is because we have whole milk and oat milk at both of our cafes. To ensure there is no cross-contamination, we have sanitizer that we will use to then rip anything off of there to hopefully ensure there is no cross-contamination of any kind or any safety issues at all. So, I'm gonna grab my whole milk. I'm gonna pour just to where it starts to stick out. Again, just that little dimple there at the bottom. I'm gonna go ahead and purge my wand just to make sure there's no water buildup in there. Now, when I am putting the wand into the pitcher itself, I want the tip to be just submerged, just under the line where the milk is. I want it to be close enough to the edge, not too close that it will start to have like a really high-pitched sound, like a scream, and I don't want it to be too close to the middle, because if I have it in the middle, all I'm going to be doing at that point is heating up the milk and aerating it and heating it up, and instead of doing that, as I'm heating it up, I want to be incorporating the milk and folding it back into itself as the air stretches it out. So I'm going to go ahead, put my tip in, just like so, over to the side. As I am aerating the milk, it is swirling around in a vortex-like fashion. So the milk is getting stretched and then refolded into itself to build a nice, creamy, consistent texture with small, tight microfoam. Again, purge into the wand, nice and easy. And the nice, beautiful, textured milk.